Came from a broken home. I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through, claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance, show me that you mean it, we'll feel some type of way. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think but the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust. I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, ooh. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Ooh. time I look in your eyes, baby, I can feel your energy. It's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. Everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I.
What's up, friends? Hello, and welcome to The Grid. This time around, it's day 2. It's a new format and all that stuff. But same people, F. Dot and Turtle, but we've upgraded a little bit. We've brought Dreadnought, the penfolder himself, Wade Penfold. How you doing?
Overselling my value, saying that that's an upgrade. Merely an addition, but I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. It's always fun. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Today it's going to be exciting to see how the guys end up performing. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So the way things are working, let's talk about it. The grid is a little bit new this time around. Last time around, we just kind of had a whole bunch of games and you could have been knocked out in 20 seconds and it really was not that great. This time around, though, a little bit more refining. So yesterday, if you joined us, first of all, thank you. Second of all, let's talk about it. It was round robin-esque. We had 4 different groups. We weren't in the group with Energy Turtle, which was
thankfully, I know,
pretty sick, right?
Isn't that amazing?
We had to play Energy, I think, every single time last time around. So a sigh of relief. We had Envy, Space Station Gaming, and E United. We beat the obvious team, Space Station Gaming, and lost to everyone else because the world is on fire. So
you hear those 3 names, and we beat SSG of all the teams. That's ridiculous. And then we come out, unfortunate sweeps against the others. But man, I still think, regardless of the scoreline, we played well.
I think it's crazy that they were the number 1 seed out of our group, right? And we ended up bottom of our seed. Like the only victory that we got was against them. That's crazy to think about.
I think that's very Alpine, though. I mean, if you've watched
very
our
Rocket
team,
League, yes,
like that's just how that kind of goes with us. Today, though, we are in a big old single elimination bracket. I love it. These guys don't, but oh well. So the way it all works out, yesterday was for seeding. Today is for the big cheese, the points. You know, like that's right.
Sir.
There it
is.
is.
True crescendo here.
A moolah.
Oh, I like both of those. Man, speak for yourself, Wade. I think it was a great addition. Definitely an elevation to join you here. And that's what we do here on Alpine. We climb. Elevation.
We do.
You get it? Right?
Okay.
No,
keep going,
I just, I don't want to be the guy who comes in and gives tips, but F. Dot, usually when you explain the joke, you lose a little value there.
I don't know what you're talking about there. I disagree.
That's the way it is. You're just wrong.
Just disagreeing. So the format should be fun. Single elim. We go up against Envy first, which, I mean, real talk, let's buckle down a little bit. That's a little bit tough. Envy, when we looked at last split, I think was the bottom of the top. And while that might be true, still be true simply because Space Station and G2 exist, I think that their gameplay overall, Turtle, has absolutely improved, and they're a stronger team than they once were.
Yeah, and they've got the cleanest record, I believe, going into playoffs, 9-1 in their group. They only dropped one game to the Peeps, which is still a difficult team to play against. But Envy, they're looking strong yesterday. Doesn't mean that we don't have a chance here, but I think coming in, they're going to have a lot of confidence. But then again, it's the grid. This is one of those tournaments, and especially with the new format, there's not as much of a pressure that these teams are experiencing. So that it could actually play to Envy's benefit. They don't have that expectation on them. So that's probably why they're starting to pop off a bit. And maybe they're exceeding, those expectations that you have after as being the bottom of the pack moving to the top.
That's fair. That's fair. A lot of things kind of weighing on players' minds here. Talking about that again today, being single elimination dread. We kind of talked about how, as a competitor, that's maybe not the greatest deal. But yesterday, we also got a chance to talk to Jordan, and he was like, "Listen, man, our mentality is one of the biggest things that has really improved about us as a team, and that's important coming into a format like today."
Yeah, it is super important, and it is going to be exciting, really, to see what unfolds. Right, single elimination has a lot in store, but on the world of like who wants a single elimination kind of versus who doesn't, I would argue in this situation, Alpine's more prone to wanting that. Right, like it's usually the upper dog, right, in these tales don't want the double elimination out of fear of that, or excuse me, the single elimination out of the fear of that kind of curveball we were hinting at a little bit yesterday. So if anything, if I'm Alpine, I would use that as another area to kind of gain some of the confidence into today.
Especially, I mean, look at how, again, just going to the conversation we had with Jordan. He was like, "Look, we beat Space Station because we really hardcore prepared for what they were going to handle us." I'm sure they prepared for Envy in a very similar way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a team in the same, at least, conversation. Comparing Envy to Space Station that's a 7-hour podcast.
Yeah.
But like, I think in reality, that's got to be the same way you approach today, especially with the format. Like I said, single elimination, big old bracket. But this is what we're doing here today. Not going to say very lucky, very proud that the team is here. I don't think it was luck. We went to qualifiers, and Turtle was concerned, but not me at all. I had zero thoughts in my mind that we would get on through. Dreadnaught didn't either, right, Dread?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Zero
complete
hesitation.
faith,
It's
right?
just
Yeah, zero.
scary. I'm
But
not
Turtle,
saying
I
I
mean,
didn't
on
have
the other
faith
hand.
in the squad. It's a scary situation to me. This is why I suck as a competitor, because I'm always thinking about the negative aspects of things. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a pessimist.
Oh man, we'll get you on our side sooner or later, Turtle.
Soon.
But if you guys missed the qualifiers, actually it's fun. Dreadnaught and the homies were actually casting. It was a great show. I lurked the entire time and enjoyed every bit of it. But if you missed the highlights, we do have a highlight reel here, of course, done by Doomsy. Let's check out what the boys did in qualifiers.
Hello and welcome here, ladies and gentlemen, to what is going to be the grid closed qualifiers. Attempted double touch.
Percy is really low on boost right now.
Jordan actually getting a touch. The follow-up from Percy. Having that in game one is a good sign there, as Magic with a clean little, I don't even know what you would call this, but
This game is just a game of inches sometimes, and it definitely hurts to be on the other side of it when it doesn't go your way.
great pinch. 9 seconds left. Percy gets down to the corner, sets it up here, see if anybody's there. Magic with another touch. Is Jordan there to be able to make anything happen? Percy sets it up high. Jordan gets the follow through, and that is going to be an OT here in game number 3. Oh, big moment. Sets it down, and that is it. Percy.
Okay, good tension, or high tension there, but good play.
What a passing play. What a passing play. From Percy to Magic. From Magic to Percy. Andy sends it up high. Magic Bear just trying to stall out and buy a little bit of time. 3 seconds left. Drops it down to the ground. It's got to be a huge play from Loco, and the touch comes through. Percy sends it in. And with that, qualifies for the grid in the winter split.
Shout out Dreadnaught and Farwater. Clearly the takeaway from that video.
Yep.
That's 100% what we need to talk about, right?
Yo, real talk. That was the first time Farwater's never commentated in his life. Like, you can look at me and be like, I should have some level of idea what I'm doing. That is the first time that man got on the mic, and honestly, it was a really good performance. Like, I thought it was really solid. He's, the meme crafter back in the labs most of the times, but there he was coming out as commentator.
It makes
Expert
sense
Photoshopper too. Don't forget that he's now acquired that title.
Makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm a big fan. Big fan of the boys as well. They qualified, and now we walked through yesterday and took down the top seed, wound up as the bottom seed. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And now we are heading into the big show. I believe we have a bracket that we can show you how everything's going to crumble out here. We are going up against Envy, who is the team that's going to crumble, not us. There it is. Bing, bang, boom. Energy off the top will go up against Charlotte Phoenix. Sonics will go up against United. Space Station Gaming against Down to Earth, which is a better team than you might think, but they're definitely going to lose to Space Station. The Peeps versus version 1. Team Envy versus us. PK versus KCP. G2 versus Bosif. And then Ghost versus Rogue. So some interesting matchups here for sure. Game 1 here, I think, is about to start. We'll jump into that in just a moment. But yeah, if we get on through this Envy, which will be tough but doable, I think we get through PK and KCP. It'll be a conversation. But Atomic Mist and Turbo Pulsa is the one in front of us, Dreadnaught.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a mountain, but it's one that we can climb.
It is definitely a mountain, and I think where I get the most nervous in it when I watch Turbo play. To be honest, the guy seems to not only does he have a unique play style, but like he is Captain Clutch in my mind in the Rocket League landscape. Like it does it like the minute pressure escalates, you can expect him to perform better. And so I actually feel like coming out with Envy in a group stage, being the most dominant team, numerically speaking, obviously they only got to compete against their group, but that level of dominance makes me fearful for today, because now is the moment where Turbo has something to play for, and that is intimidating as heck.
I think the
Let's jump in here
about all these guys, as we do jump in here, you're right. You know what, I thought I'm too excited because Turbo, we were talking about him, it's the midfield that he's going to bring to this roster of Envy. His presence in the midfield, he wins almost every single 50, it feels like. And the dude is a monster. When it comes to Alpine's play style of trying to starve out the other team, we need midfield possession. If Turbo's going to create a problem there, it's going to be difficult.
That's definitely fair to say. First shot of the game goes to Magic Bear, and it's a decent one. Not a unblockable one, but not a, I call like routine shots that you know are going to get blocked. I think there was a chance for that. So like, I'm feeling good about this already. Jordan kind of went in the wrong direction, so he couldn't find that one. But just off the bat, Dread, it does feel like a good sort of step onto the field, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that only got accented kind of with the symbolism of seeing Jordan able to get a dodge there on a demo, while Magic Bear actually got one as well. And, again, another dodge coming through. Just, physical play is not the forte of Alpine Esports. So the fact that we're already seeing a little bit of a mix-up here makes me hopeful towards the game plan that they have in store here for this series.
I heard you, Turtle, there. Forcing the double commit. If Envy both players don't go up for that, I think we actually score the goal. So, smart oddball play. I said this during the last tournament and kind of got roasted for it, but like the double commit there was effective. It's not always a cardinal sin to like send both players up.
Yeah.
It removes the guesswork and the trick play from the offensive player.
Well, that's what Fairy Peak was mentioning a lot, and I think that surprised a lot of the community because you normally always think of a double commit and think this is the worst thing we could ever do on defense. As this one's going to slip in Atomic, the Starvation, you can see all the defenders from Alpine were trying to get up on this ball. A double commit, as soon as we talk about it, of course, happens, and nobody's on the backboard.
It's a tough position. But as you were talking about, like with that double commit, I think the reason why it's hard to look at that and endorse it, especially for maybe a more average player, is purely you can look at that and go, the math doesn't add up. It's not necessarily the most efficient play, but efficiency doesn't define what is always the best play I think available. And I think that's kind of where that comes into play, and why it's so hard for people to look at that and go, is that okay? And somebody see, especially when I think, especially the season 1, season 2 days, it was basically a question of, did you double commit? If no, then you're probably going to be okay. The game has evolved significantly since
the classic days, yes.
Yeah.
I think really what it comes down to is that it is it is a rule. And if you are learning to play Rocket League, never double commit. But professional, I don't care if you're doing Rocket League or Opera, you break the rules once you learn the rules. Magic Bear trying to roll out. No, Jordan. Nice to see.
I love this from Magic Bear. He slows down the play a little bit and then saves that flip. As soon as he has the right position to pop it right over the goalkeeper, he uses it the best timing possible. Jordan has a difficult angle, but Magic Bear is starting off. He's looking good. We even saw the demos earlier on. This seems like a completely different Magic Bear than what we saw yesterday.
What I loved about that was Magic Bear goes for the play and is supposed to score that. And listen, even the best strikeout, oh well, he misses. But Jordan is there to back the teammate up. Most of the time, that goes in, and Jordan's just a fleck on the replay. But he's there for the teammate, backing up the homie, and that's the type of team play you need in order to beat Envy.
Yeah, it's looking really good, and I think yesterday we were talking a lot about when Alpine looks at peak performance, it feels like when it is not just Percy kind of being significant in the offense, and that can come through Magic Bear and Jordan depending on the day. So to see that coming out of Magic Bear, still in game number 1, seeing if we get more out of Jordan, I feel like, again, kind of speaks to the form that they may be in here. We'll just see if they can keep up, I think, the pressure, and more so maybe that midfield that we were talking about a little bit when it comes to Turbo, because he is such a scary player in that specific area, and also is kind of a weakness when it comes to Alpine's play. Atomic for that double touch, and he gets it. Oh my, the angle on this, hitting it in the bottom right part of his car just to send it down.
How are you supposed to defend this one? Is that, like, to my noob eyes, that looks, you just had the perfect angle.
The only situation I can see that being defended, there's two options. You can either have a pre-jump where you see you can see in the goal, it's gonna bounce down with that lip, or you can see it's too high to process. So you end up just jumping, hoping you can predict that small little angle, or you're on the backboard. Preferred on the backboard, that'd be the best position. And usually as a player, it's hard to even do that because Atomic hit it off the backboard with so much speed. We have no time to react to it. And still, this MV offense is not letting up.
All right, we'll see if we can get it out of the blue half here. Still just kind of launching it at that upper lip in the backboard. Magic ends up sends one deep, but pretty easy save here from Atomic. 30 seconds left.
They choke players out. One game victories is really, like, I've discovered that to be Envy's kind of what they're known for, so to speak. Like, one goal, and they don't really give you the opportunity to get back into it. Whether they stay on offense and never score, or, like, they're not even looking to score at that point. They're just looking to eat up clock time. They do it fantastically here. Atomic gets one more shot
demo
in the air. Actually,
it's possible. Come on,
this could be.
Jordan.
Oh,
So close. You can see him with that air dribble still coming in. If somebody had been under that, there would have been a chance. Still Envy, the dominant showing. And I think that's an interesting point, because now that you mentioned, I never thought about Envy winning so many games by only one goal. But as I look back, especially with casting any of their matches in RLCS or just watching them play, it's always close, very defensive games from these guys. And I think that's the element that Turbo adds. While he doesn't, do too much fancy shooting on top or add a level of aggression, he has such solid defense and such good midfield 50s that even if they aren't getting the goals, they're still so dominant on the field.
That's what we saw right there. They were able to just sort of inch up. Alpine started off real well, but then, like I said, choked out is what I go. It just seems like a slow burn from Envy Dread. I mean, where was the window that we were supposed to look for there?
I mean, it seemed like it was too little too late. I feel like once you look at the Atomic double touch, right? Like to come back and ensure that you get an easy goal opportunity, I think an easy goal opportunity isn't going to arise at that moment. They had to make some kind of miracle passing play. And passing doesn't seem to be at the forefront of the minds of Alpine right now. I'm not saying that would necessarily be a significant difference in the outcome of the games. But that is something that I feel like very early on they were kind of known for, and I wonder if that's somehow a way that they can better break up the defense here, or maybe more so even the control and possession of Envy.
Good call. look to share the ball a little bit more. The thing for me is Alpine likes to play the controlled, basically what Envy was doing to us last time
What a
around.
save.
Fast shot.
Yeah, right as I talk about passing, we get one, and it's a clean shot, but just a miracle save coming out.
When it came from Magic Bear, who's been popping off, it seems like this whole series so far. Game 1, he looked great. I love when Magic Bear's demoing, especially. And speaking of demos, Miz gets one on Jordan, but it doesn't affect us. That's a nice touch from Turbo. Still some good aggression in the midfield from Alpine. It seems like we're winning a few more 50s here and there, but the speed's still a little bit outpaced.
Don't be lulled into false sense of security again. That's what Envy does. I feel like they play better in the later stages of games, especially once they play kind of fast and loose. It's like they just rely on how good they are to score that lead goal, and then they buckle down once they get the lead goal and they play correct, quote unquote. You know, so like we have better looks now. Because it's 0-0. What concerns me is when Envy takes the lead.
That's fair. And what honestly concerns me is every single solid shot from Alpine. We're 2 for 2 on those. Was both of those saves Atomic? The last one, the backboard save, was Atomic. Atomic is a monster, leading in goals with a double touch in the last series into a defensive, I mean, just peak performance it feels like here in game number 2.
You got that save. I looked over. I saw your face, Dread. You're like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? How is he getting this?
I mean, what do you do against that? You know, like, my goodness.
I could have sworn it was in because I think Percy had the shot on the left side. He had the accuracy. The placement was there. Now Atomic on the other side.
Oh,
he did it to us last game, and now he comes out here and does the same thing.
Oh man, yeah. This is just pretty. Like, see this one, like. Again, it's just so. Those are the plays that it feels like, and this is a weird one. So run with me, guys. You ever play like ping pong where the guy like the angle is just perfectly above the net and there's no way you can hit it? Like,
yes.
That's what those double taps feel like. Where it's just like, okay, man, you found the exact angle and there's nothing to do there. This time around, there might have been something to do there, but Jordan went up already once.
That's the second kind of, I'm going to call it a defensive blunder there from Jordan. Another one was a touch a little bit earlier in this game. In the lower right corner, sending a high when I think he wanted to get it out a little bit wider there. And I feel like, if we're talking about the boa constrictor that is Envy as they choke you out once they gain a lead, that kind of stuff really just can't happen. We got to find a way to be able to clean that up here if we're going to recover in this series because... Keep in mind, this is still best of 5. If this game concludes in favor of Envy, we got 1 game left, and that's a wrap, folks.
The frustrating thing, there's no room for error as well. You mentioned that, Dreadnaught. Being on the defensive side, we make one small error, and all of a sudden, Envy are there to punish. Meanwhile, on the other side, we could have scored, 2 goals that should have gone in my opinion, with the accuracy we had, and Envy still managed to get those tight-knit saves. So there is basically nothing we can do in terms of applying our offensive opportunities well, but on defense, if we're not very solid in the rotations, it's over.
That was almost the grossest pass play I've ever seen in my life, but just a little bit out of reach there. One way we might be able to see that come through is a little bit, I'm the first guy to vote against a solo play, but with the level of kind of finesse we're seeing out of Magic Bear here, and probably the player most prone to, see if we can find a way to be able to get something out of Magic Bear, some spice kind of added into the mix.
That was there was no way for Jordan to make any use of it, but it looked damn cool. He hits a double flip reset in the corner and almost finds his way to a triple.
And we're just letting this one glide across too. Yeah, this looks a little bit deadly in terms of the bounce missed. The way he's controlling his cart still to get that ball to wrap all the way around. And it seems like the Alpine defense a little bit eager to challenge. We had nobody rotating back on net. Obviously, we're going to be boost starved and Envy. It looks a little bit too simple for them in terms of getting that ball across. We need somebody on the backboard to stop those double taps, and maybe in the corners to get some kind of better 50.
It truly just feels like... I used the phrase a boa constrictor before, and I'll hold that to still be true here. Just finding its way to gain more and more control over you until there's no point to even really exist and breathe at a certain point. And we're nearing what feels like the breath part of this equation. Good pass setup. And see, that's a triple commit. So like if the continuous pressure comes through here, I mean, clearly that challenge right there, setting it up high, making it a little bit awkward for everybody. Percy got ambitious there with the save off the backboard. Or excuse me, not the backboard. What would you call that? The back of the net.
Yeah, literally that's all we've ever called it. Just going upside down in the net, the back of the net, the top of the net.
I call it the gutter.
The gutter. Oh,
I like that.
That is pretty good. Wow.
Yeah, I call it the gutter.
F-Dot,
Like,
you amaze me on the every day. You amaze me actually.
you amaze me too, Turtle. Baby, I'm burned by you. No reaction. Zero reaction from Turtle. I'm staring at the camera, and he's just like, okay.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't even know if he knows that song. Yeah, we got to remember the generational gap here.
But it worked though. All you have to do is keep singing. That's what I'm saying. This might be the key. We got to pinch. The luck is on our side whenever F-Dot singing.
That's what it is. Alpine Esports, energized by 90s country.
Yes.
There we go.
80s country? You want me to know what 80s country is?
90s.
Oh my god. And it was a country song.
Made it. Look how far we've come, my baby.
Okay,
Might
keep it up.
took a long way. We knew we'd get. Look, they didn't score. Look at that. I'm telling you.
You tried. Yeah, that was some hustle there, but sadly, F-Dot cannot carry, this all the way through.
Just please never do that again now. Now that we know it doesn't work, we don't need to ever hear that. Ever.
That was my
okay?
that was the goal. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
What we do need to see now is this game 5 forced reverse sweep. Okay, I believe in the boys. I think that we have good potential. It's like you said, F-Dot, the defensive blunders, fixing up those simple mistakes, and not getting starved out with the boa constrictor metaphor that you used. I would have to agree.
That's very funny because you didn't make one reference, you made two references, and Wade made both of them.
That's right.
I was involved in neither of those
how it's
things.
done. Just because I just tune you out. I just listen to Dreadnaught.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what. But then why did you say my name? You said great job with the boa constrictor and the other thing, and both of those.
I said F-Dot. I meant Dreadnaught. Did I say F-Dot?
No,
you said F-Dot.
Oh my goodness, I meant Dreadnaught. See, I'm going crazy already.
Honestly, I feel slighted. Those examples being thrown out there and setting the tone and then not being able to get the credit. My ego is just withering away at the moment.
Metaphors too. That's why I was trying to credit you. And you guys both have names that end in "ot," so you can understand. I might get that a little bit confused. Okay.
That was the turnaround here defensively. Like, one of the more challenging shots on us. Oh, Magic Bear not going to get there in time.
Atomic is so annoying. He's predicting everything we're doing. He has the confidence to stay up. That positioning from him alone is dangerous and risking his team's rotation, but he stays there because he knows exactly what we're trying to do with the ball.
And that recovered from a attempted, by staying up, right? He's trying to dunk the touch coming out from Percy, and then he recovers with his positioning midway through it to ensure that he's able to basically just bump it down and get a pass. A double touch tries to come through. An opportunity here. Percy with an open net. Will he take it?
Oh, yes, sir.
He will, and he does it with the 360 here. So a little bit of swagger. The morale here of the team is still up. Look at this.
It's the 360.
Okay.
Baby.
And it's a bit of a disrespect, too, because Envy, that was a 3-man triple commit. We never see those, especially from Envy. So for them to be so aggressive and for us to instantly counter, I think that's at least a statement that they need to back off of our half a little bit.
Listen, man, I'm gonna. That was disrespect. That's all that was. They were like, all right, Alpine Esports, and boom, we come back.
Well, there's still 4 minutes left, and that demo is gonna ensure that we kind of go back to where we've been most of the series, down by at least 1 point.
And Jordan got
just
that.
Just one.
Jordan's just driving back on the defensive side. I wish he just turned a little bit. Once he got that midfield boost, he could have gone in and maybe gotten a 50, taken the ball off of whoever was dribbling there, or forced at least a flick, something to get the defense going. But instead, just drove right past it, giving up too much space.
Interesting touch there from Percy. Doesn't net too much though for Atomic. But gives me a little bit of pause here as Turbo just running the back wall of Alpine's app. Jordan comes through with a nice demo. He leaves him to be a one-on-one situation. See if we can get that Magic Bear. I don't think he's got the boost for it to make anything clever happen. Good touch there. Missed touch on the defensive side too. Missed off the backboard though. Cleans up.
Where's teammates? Okay, one from the corner into the mid. Oh man, we needed a fourth, right? Like there was an opportunity there, but lost to the fingers. We are making NV scramble. Have you noticed that? They're like really scrambling on D. They don't look in control the way they did in game number 1. And that's got to be a positive.
It's all about finding the groove. I feel like Alpine slowly, that's a good 50 to force something into Percy, but went for a bit of a fake. And that's kind of what Magic Bear did earlier, where you delay that previous flip after you jump. It didn't work this time, but still, there's more pressure. You can tell. Envy getting a bit comfortable, or not Envy, Alpine getting a bit comfortable here. Taking some boosts, and it's all about controlling those midfield boosts.
I can't help but think that Alpine
Magic!
warmed up. Magic.
Where did that
baby.
come from?
Let's go.
That was oh my gosh. Once you see that ceiling touch hit the ground, you're like, that's the freest pass you've ever seen. Magic goes zooming by, and the recovery ends up.
Where did he come from?
I actually don't know. He proceeded to remove himself from any version of a HUD or anything when stealth mode came back, and was ready to clap cheeks. That was beautiful. Atomic setting up some fancy here.
I get scared every time I see him go for the ball.
I do too.
It's that backboard presence that he had.
It's because he is what 2 for 2 on anything involving double tap, or what would be a kind of slower play with that high aerial towards the Alpine half.
Yeah.
A lot of breathing room in the midfield right there. Magic Bear able to get to it, but it's going to cost him a lot of boost.
I mean, Magic Bear was playing back. He expected something to go in that direction. I give a lot of credit to the foresight there. That was real smooth. If he hadn't made that decision a long time ago, it would have been a much different situation.
Wow. Atomic again, dropping this one in the middle, and everybody has a designated job. Atomic drops this down in the middle. Turbo Pulsa makes sure he gets a hit off the backward, which is very difficult to read too if you're rotating in. Alpine can't handle it. Everyone on Envy doing something good.
1 minute 23, 2 goals, and we need this. Again, we are a single elimination here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man.
Wolf City.
Somebody's got to take Atomic out of this match. It's that good 52 off the kickoff, then missed. What is that, too? It seemed like he might have gotten a flip reset. Just styling on us. 1 minute and 17 left. It's still possible, but we really need a jump start on defense.
I'm feeling bad, boys. I need help getting back into it.
We need the 90s songs back. No, we don't.
don't.
I'm just kidding. We really don't.
We really don't.
We do need to find a way to get Atomic to not be absolutely everywhere.
Oh man.
Talking about it.
Yeah, look at that.
There he is.
I mean, look at
There he is.
Pass.
He's coming from the defensive half.
God,
Jumps off the wall and just kisses that one to the midfield. And that's, I mean, it doesn't matter what direction he's looking. He is finding a way to set up and enable the remainder of the roster, which is, I mean, when you got Turbo on your roster, and then that's, not even to say anything about Mist at all there. It's like, my goodness, that is not a good math equation we're kind of setting ourselves up to. And with 4 goals in 46 seconds.
Unlucky.
I'm quite impressed in terms of Envy and their performance lately. This has seemed to be as if they figured something else out. Atomic has always been a monster, but this is on another level where his rotations, he's staying a little bit farther forward, and on his way out, he always makes sure he does something effective, either taking boost, goes for a little touch to pass back maybe, or even gets a demo. Yeah,
I'm wondering if yesterday's performance, Atomic was such a pillar that he seems to be today towards their performance, or if in fact it was just the remainder of the roster making something go on there. 7 seconds left. My goodness.
I think at the end of the day, Alpine looked a lot better as the series went on, but obviously, kind of too little, too late. But in the same hand, Envy looking like a team re-energized. You know,
Yeah.
squads have the big show on the mind, right? Like we've had such a long split, a lot of it online, you know, because the world's a vampire and all that. But like I think as we kind of come more into the future, more possibilities, something about Envy, Turbo Pulsa, and like proximity to finals,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
there's just something there for me. And
You
Envy,
gravitate
like I
toward it.
said, looking at split one versus now and what we've seen, it's a different day.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and rewatch Envy's round one, if that stream somewhere too, because whenever we were seeing Atomic here, and also talking about the results of round one for Envy going 9-1, he must have been popping off the same way we saw in this series, because that was an unreal performance. If he carries that through, I honestly can't see a team that could take Envy in the whole series. Maybe a game or two if you're NRG, maybe SSG, but overall, that was another level of a performance.
Yeah, and like, you know, if we're gonna take yesterday's sets, because statistically speaking, right, the most dominant performance out of all of yesterday actually was Envy, even over NRG by one game. So like if you were to look at that compared to like Space Station, even though they was topped our group, for instance, only had a game differential of 2 compared to the 8 of Envy and the 7 of NRG. So I feel like, you know, if everything's directly translating, Envy is poised to be able to walk away with the first grid championship right now. And with that level of performance and just how clean and team oriented it was, it's hard to kind of honestly debate against that. I'm going to be excited to see how far they go in for the rest of today. Honestly, because then it will make my ego feel a little bit better just knowing Alpine lost to the champion and be like,
Exactly.
you know,
whatever, man. It was Atomic.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, I was rough one, but I'm with you. I'm with you, Dread. I think that looking at what Envy's kind of doing here, I would not be surprised to kind of see them take the cake and walk away with it. But unfortunately, this is where Alpine walks away. We are going to walk away for just a moment. Turtle and I are going to be back. We're going to have Percy from the squad alongside of us to kind of chit chat before we leave you guys and bid you adieu. But thank you for joining us this Friday, Wade. It's always a fun pleasure.
Yep. Thank you for having me as always.
Awesome. And with that, we'll be back after this with Percy.
just some more whiskey. I can't seem to understand how you do this to me. You've been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead. Saw you in the red dress. I can't seem to understand how you got all that finesse. Still been running in circles inside my head. Wasn't looking for love, but baby, I found you instead.
Welcome back, guys. It's the Grid. It's me and Turtle and Percy right here in the middle, man. You guys, Envy looking like a different squad is what we were saying here in the booth, watching you guys do your thing here. You have played against them earlier in the year. And basically what we were saying was like Envy looks, pick your word, re-energized. They just look better now than they did before. Would you agree with that? How does it feel playing against them?
Yeah, I feel like they're probably like a top 2 team in North America right now. Just because like every player on that team is really good. Like Mist on defense was saving everything that series, and Atomic was just scoring everything that series. They're
Yeah.
a different beast.
It seems like that performance from Envy has come out of nowhere. I mean, have you noticed the change? Have they started throwing Atomic forward more, or have they always been top 2 in your opinion?
Uh, they've been like top 4 NA like most of the days. Like I feel like they were inconsistent, but now like they are starting to pick up their consistency. Like all of them are starting to play good together. Because sometimes like it'd be days like only like 2 players of the team played good, or only one, but all 3 of them are started playing good like every day.
That's the scary stuff. You got a chance to play against them last week. The like WSOE stuff was a little bit different, but you guys look kind of interesting there, looking at some of the successes, some of the losses there. But WSOE, how are you feeling for that one, that like exhibition match or whatnot?
It was a pretty different tournament for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we played decent in the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, we played Envy, we lost. Like they're looking really good. And we played Energy, like they're also looking really good. And
Yeah, it's energy.
yeah, in case that was a tough series against KCP that day.
Definitely. And also, I mean, we're gonna keep looking forward to, because we've got the regional event 1 coming up, and there's obviously a new format in the grid, but also a new format in regional event number 1. It's changed to a double elimination bracket. So, what are your thoughts on the new format going into regional event 1? Are you guys excited for that? Do you think it'll play to your strengths, or how do you feel?
We're definitely excited for the new format. Me personally, I feel like the new format's gonna be better since I
Okay.
like double elim tournaments because like they're so fun and like there's a lot of suspense going on. Um,
Mhm.
so I feel like it's gonna be better for us.
Right.
Heck yeah, yeah. I think it'll be fun. Double elimination obviously brings a lot of fun storylines, some comebacks and fightbacks and everything. So I'm lined up. Yesterday you guys looked real strong, taking down Space Station and stuff. And so today is today, but I'm kind of holding on to that energy you guys brought yesterday. I think that's the
Oh,
real
yeah.
Alpine and where we can see you guys in the future. But speaking of the future, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna wrap it up here and call it a day. Fun stuff, man. Unfortunate for today, but big picture wise, regionals. There's so much more Rocket League
Oh
to
yeah.
be
Oh
played.
yeah.
We've lowered the amount here, and there's still a gazillion games to play. So live free, die hard, do another day. But thanks again for your time, Percy. It's been sick. Turtle, you're pretty cool too.
I love the
Dreadnaught,
singing
he's
today.
not here,
I
but
love
he's
them, bro.
cool. Listen, I Percy, don't watch the VOD. They made me
Please
sing. It was
please don't.
bad. Just don't. But that's going to do it for us here today. Grid, another time, not tomorrow. We'll be back it's like next week, Turtle?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The first week of December.
Yes, that's what I don't know the day either. But the first week of December, we'll be back. So will Percy and the whole team will be, and it'll be really fun. So thank you so much for watching the Grid here on Alpine_esports at twitch.tv. We will see you another time. Peace.
None of this seems right. What am I holding on to? If it could be black and white, we'd wait till sunrise. 'Cause I'm not gonna stay for a second last chance. But none of this seems right. What am I holding on to? Won't you come over? Dying to know where you came from. We're breaking open. Feel like our future's just begun. And all I know is that we lost time. If we stay right here, we could free our